Lady Charmaine, and my guest today is an author of a new book called Trials and Tribulations. And she's here today to talk about her new book, and I want you to help me welcome author Renita J. Taylor. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it is a pleasure having you on the show, and I'm so excited for you because you have your brand new book, girl. And I'm going to tell you, for this to be your first book, it is thick. Most people, when they put out their first book, it might be 100 pages to 200. You put 1 million up in there, girl. But congratulations. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. I had a lot to get off my chest with this book. And that's why it's 422 pages. It's actually a storyline. So when you read it, you're following her life from 8 to 30. And she's going through all these motions. So, you get to see how she is as a child to 30 years of age.
And see, that's a blessing. And for those who might be listening and say, why did Lady Charmaine just say that? Well, because I actually know Renita, and I'm really proud of her, just how far she has come. And this is her very first book. And for many, there's so many people out there who have a desire to become an author. They probably started writing their book, didn't continue, finishing the journey, but you did. And then you put everything in the book. And like you said, you got 423 pages. So that's why I'm so happy. You didn't start off with the first 50. You just put it all in the book. So congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. And for those who do not know you, I want you to tell us a little bit about you. Where are you from?
I'm actually from Daly City, California. I lived there till about 18 years of age, and then I moved to San Francisco. So from that point, I was in and out of writing. I started out when I was 12 years old. My mom came home one day with a composition book, and she said, well, since you don't want to talk to me or anybody else, here's a book. Write down your thoughts. So that's how I got started in the writing. I'm currently living in Sacramento right now and working on my second book.
Well, that's fantastic. So what inspired you to write this particular book?
Well, going through my own trials and tribulations, that was the start of it. We all go through things. We all have problems and issues and situations. But in this book and in life, I'm telling you that through your emotions, you don't have to always act on things. Everything doesn't have to have a response. You know what I mean? So it's like you go through something, okay, take it with a grain of salt and move forward. Don't get stuck in that, because then you cause more problems to yourself than you are towards other people. So it's a life lesson pretty much.
Now, question, is there a type and shadow between the character in the book and your life as well?
Yes, so it's 30% of what I've gone through personally. One of the topics that I talk about is domestic violence. So I was in a domestic dispute. I was in a situation where I felt like, this was it for me. Like I needed to be with him because he treated me a certain way, but then, it wasn't really that spectacular in the end. So, I made it through, and in this book, you gotta read it, but can't give you all the juices. I can't give you all the sweets. So, I just want readers to, read the book and really get a feel for this character. She really went through a lot, but she learned a lot. She's still learning in book 2. So, it's just an eye opener. I'm telling young girls, and from 16 to 50, you don't have to go through this. I'm telling you what not to do.
Right. So what chapters in the book are your favorites?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
What chapters in the book are your favorites?
Oh, okay. So there's a chapter called Facing Demons and Vegas Vacation. And in both of these chapters, you really get to see, the main character open up. You really get to see her trials and tribulations. You really get to see a real feel for her and her heart, So I really like these 2 chapters because you really get a chance to kind of like go in her mind a little bit, if you will.
Okay. So what do you want the readers to take away from reading your book?
I would like readers of those age ranges that I went through, 16 to 50, to really just get a feel of really what not to do in relationships. Now, we all are going to make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. I totally understand that. But through your emotions, you don't always have to have a reaction. I want people, especially young girls, to know the value of themselves and their self-worth. And I want them to appreciate their bodies and not use it for all the wrong reasons, looking for love in all the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know, we matter. So you have to know that and feel it.
And so you said your core audience is this between the 16 and 50-year-old. Now, we still have some 65-year-olds that still don't understand the purpose of their body.
You know what? That's true. But I just tried to keep it to the 50-year-olds because, you know, if I'm 65 and I'm still making those same mistakes, I'm doing something wrong. And, you know, it's just a lesson for everybody, you know. Mm-hmm. So I'm just, you know, I just really want people to get the message. So I'm just really trying to get people to get the message of the book.
So when you were a teenager, what were some of your struggles as a teenager, and what were you like as a teenager that would resonate to some of the teens today? Because, you know, teens today feel like that, you know, everything they're going through is so new, we don't understand. And, you know, like the Bible says, there's nothing new under the sun. And they don't understand that.
Nothing.
You know, as adults, we've been there, done that. We just didn't have social media. We didn't have cell phones back then, you know, doing a lot of sexting and texting and all of that. But we still had other ways that we were doing things. What would you say to a 16-year-old today to really encourage them to make a U-turn, to turn from what they're doing and to make better choices?
What I would tell a 16-year-old, well, first let me start with this. As I was 16, you know, I got hung up with the cutting class and the smoking of the weed and, you know, just trying to figure myself out. But what I want them to know is that if you have a talent, whether it's singing, rapping, writing, dancing, drawing, you know, artistry, if you have that, act on those things, because those things are going to carry you until you get older. You know, you can't always fall for the peer pressure. You can't always fall for the being a follower. You got to be a leader. You got to show and prove that you can stand on your own 2 feet without a pack of people. Because at the end of the day, really, it's just you. You know? Mm-hmm. That's seriously, like, it's just you. And you have to figure out what makes you you. You know, you got to really tap into yourself. And, you know, you get caught up sometimes, but you got to will it in and, you know, just stand out a little more and not so much follow the pack. You got to be the leader. You know, if everybody's smoking weed, okay. If everybody jump off the bridge, are you going to jump off the bridge too? Mm-hmm. You got to be smarter and you got to make smarter choices.
That's good. So if people want to purchase the book, where can they go and purchase the book?
They can go to Amazon.com or they can go to BarnesandNobles.com to get the book.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Well, do you have a website where people can find you? Are you on social media? People wanted to connect with you? I'm
definitely on social media. So I'm on Facebook. I'm Lady Tweety. You can look me up there, or you can look me up at Lady T34 on Instagram. And, you know, I post stuff all the time on there. You know, I'm always posting about my book, what's up and coming, things of that nature. So I'm not hard to find. I will say that.
Again,
not hard to find.
I know that's right. And again, I just want to remind the audience to make sure that you pick up the book Trials and Tribulations by Renita J. Taylor, author. Coming soon, her second book should be on Amazon.com and Barnes and Nobles. We'll be checking that out as well. Again, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your story with us.
Thank you for having me, and God bless.
God bless you too.